In a quiet village at the edge of a dense forest, there lived a mysterious doll maker named Mr. Whitlock. His dolls were unlike any other, hand-carved with intricate details, painted faces that seemed lifelike, and eyes so glassy they appeared to follow you. People traveled from distant towns to buy his creations, but there was a darker side to his craft. It was whispered that Whitlock's dolls carried a piece of their maker's soul. He was obsessed with perfection, and when his work wasn't appreciated, his anger grew dark and vengeful. One fateful day, a wealthy family commissioned Whitlock to create a doll for their daughter, Annabelle, on her 10th birthday. Whitlock worked tirelessly for weeks, pouring his heart and soul into the piece. The final result was breathtaking. A doll with golden curls, deep blue eyes, and a delicate silk dress. When the family arrived, Annabelle stared at the doll with a look of disdain. "It's ugly," she sneered, throwing the doll onto the ground. Her parents laughed, brushing off her rudeness, and refused to pay Whitlock. Humiliated and furious, Whitlock cursed the doll under his breath, muttering words no one could hear. That night, he was never seen again, and the doll was taken to the family's mansion. Annabelle's behavior changed the moment the doll entered the house. Once a mischievous but harmless girl, she grew cruel, tormenting the maids and screaming at her parents. She insisted the doll, whom she named Rosalie, needed her own room. At first, the parents dismissed this as childish imagination, but soon, strange things began happening. One night, Annabelle's mother was passing her daughter's room when she heard whispers. Peeking through the door, she saw Annabelle sitting cross-legged, talking to Rosalie. The doll sat upright, as if it were listening. When Annabelle stopped speaking, the doll's head turned slightly toward the mother. Terrified, the mother backed away, but Annabelle's voice followed her. Rosalie doesn't like it when people spy on her. The next morning, the maid quit, claiming she'd seen the doll walking across the hallway. The family dismissed her claims as nonsense. But soon, they too began to notice the doll appearing in places it shouldn't. One night, Annabelle's father woke to a faint sound of footsteps outside his bedroom. He opened the door to find Rosalie sitting on the floor, staring up at him with her cold, lifeless eyes. Shaking with fear, he returned the doll to Annabelle's room. But as he turned to leave, he heard a faint giggle echo through the halls. "Daddy," Annabelle whispered from her bed. "Rosalie says she doesn't want to go back." By now, the parents were desperate. They tried to burn the doll, but the fire wouldn't catch. They tried to bury it in the woods, but the next morning, it was back in Annabelle's arms. Weeks later, the family was found dead in their home, their faces frozen in expressions of terror. The house was abandoned, and no one dared to enter it for years. Decades later, a young couple bought the house, unaware of its dark history. While exploring the attic, they found a dusty trunk. Inside was Rosalie, her porcelain face cracked, but her blue eyes as piercing as ever. The wife picked up the doll and shivered as a faint whisper filled the room. "Play with me." From that day forward, the couple was never seen again.